So let's say that someone is talking to a person with autism and they're like, hey, you want to go to this park? The person with autism is like, sure. Well, that kind of implies that, like, do you want to go to the park right now? Right? Because they didn't specify a time period. It's not like they said, hey, do you want to go to the park later today? They just said, do you want to go to the park? Right? So if the person's like, okay, we're going to go to the park, and then they're like doing like 30 other things before that, and then after a while you're like, are we going or not? So that's a little bit dysregulating. So it's always helpful to kind of specify the time period if you can. If not, that's totally fine too. Things in life and just pop up, that's totally fine. And they can definitely learn to be more flexible with that, and they can work on that. But just like a little communication thing, unless it's just an unusual circumstance that just popped up, there's, just time is of the essence. Unless it's one of those situations, then it's better to try to like maybe kind of specify a timeline. And like if you say one thing, then you do that thing, not like say one thing and then do something else. And then just communication in general. So if you're one of those people who feels like really shy about certain things, you're definitely not alone in that either. So here's something that you could try. So let's say that you're at work or volunteering or school or whatever. And actually, let's make it volunteering or work, okay? Because that makes more sense. And let's say that there's something that you're like, oh, that kind of goes against the procedure. That kind of goes against the information I learned previously. Or, oh, that's actually like not appropriate. So like if there's, as children get older, but also adults, we all have different developmental abilities, right? Medical conditions. So, there's certain things that, certain toys and games and things that, it's not appropriate for a baby, right? It's for like an older child, like a 4 or 5 year old, right? So if you see something like, that maybe something is being given to a baby that, is really for like a 4 or 5 year old, that's totally fine to step in. You can be like, hey, I think that's a really cool toy. That's a really nice idea. But I actually learned that is actually for, someone who's a little bit older, or hey, that actually maybe this other item would be better for the baby. So maybe it's one of those like little soft books, or maybe you can read the baby a story, or maybe there's like a teething toy that they like, of course, watch them with supervision, all that. But, it's totally fine to work through that situation and bring that up to someone. And it's okay too if you're thinking, but I don't know how to say it, or what if it's awkward. Okay, again, that what if that I talked about earlier, so that's anxiety. Not specific to OCD, but just anxiety in general. And again, it's totally okay if you like don't know how to handle it. And you can say, well, I'm not really too sure how to word this, but this is what I was thinking, or this is what popped in my mind, or I'm not really sure how to say this, but, and then just say what you're going to say.